Greetings, everybody, from Naples, Florida, and we have Hubert again joining us in Canada. Hubert, say hi to everybody.
Hey, hi everybody. How you doing? Hi.
So, as you know, I have the webinar jam going, so it's interactive, so I can see everybody. Well, not see you, but communicate with you, and also on Facebook Live. Hello, we are finishing our final series in becoming a change agent and the concept of self-management. And this is one of the most, I say this every time, Hubert, this is a very important session we're teaching. And Hubert is joining us from the job where he's at, not his life work, but he's at the job. And we are going to continue where we left off 2 weeks ago at the webinar. And basically, we're going to be covering when it comes to job, career, what you were born to do, and how we were created to solve a problem. Now, before we get into that, I want to let you guys know that Hubert will be joining me for my Rediscovering the Kingdom retreat. That is July 14th, 15th, and 16th. Of course, we do baptism, and of course, bring your children. We have the youth that is ran by Brittany over here. Come in the screen so you can say hi to everybody. There we go. Hi, hi. Okay. And the team, more of the team members. So bring your children. This is so important for them to get it at this stage in their life. Okay. Your job is to intentionally train them. But then it also, a lot of times when you bring them into a different environment and you bring them with different people that can be influential in their lives, sometimes they pay more attention. And they do great activities with them to really instill the principles of the kingdom of God into their lives. So we were taught, I want to say hi to everybody that's greeting us. In Manchester, we have Lance and Lisa, hello. Raleigh, North Carolina. Agnes from Sweden is on, hello. Solange, hi everybody. We have Hannah in Minnesota, MD. Maryland? MD. I can't remember, Hannah. MD. I do know where Raleigh, North Carolina is. Hi, Karen. Good to see you. Nicole from Charleston, South Carolina. Hi, Nicole. What color is your hair today? She's always changing things up on us. Ada is on from New Jersey. Yes, the New Jersey girls. My greetings to all of you. We have Ezra. I guess we have a few people from the UK, and they're trying to figure out where they're located. Now, that reminds me of something very important. On our website, tristasue.com, I want you guys to be able to connect with one another where you are. And we have people that are starting groups or just meeting one another, different locations around the globe, as they've reached out to us. So put a pin locator where you are so people can find you as they're exposed to the message of the kingdom of God. This is so important. We're getting everybody connecting with us, but we want to connect you guys to one another. So you do have a community, because you know when you grasp the message of the kingdom, it changes your whole mentality, and you want to find other people in your area that you can connect with. This is very important. All right, we have Ella. Hi, Ella. I received some communication from Ella to the office. Glad to see you on. She's in Ohio. Maurice from the Netherlands. Hello. Bonita in Atlanta, ATL in the house today. We have Rexy from Dubai. Yay, the Middle East is representing in the house. Middle East, yay. Okay, we also have Sana, Sadie, Francisco. Hi, guys. Shiloh is just now going down for her nap. She changed things on us, and she's kind of boycotting her sleep routine right now. Michael and Deanna Long from Indiana, hello. Susan from Omaha, hi. And Mencina from Long Beach, hi girl. Miss California in the house. Shaquem and Kiera, good to see you guys. They're fellow Floridians. Nicole says her hair is now pastel pink and blue purple, so she can't decide what color hair she wants. So she's going with the pastel spring Easter colors. Okay, can't wait to see you, Nicole. And so we're so excited everybody's on. I know some other people on Facebook Live. Now that we've greeted everybody, yes, during you wonder if you can talk about connecting somehow, do that. Alicia from Dallas. Hey, Alicia. Why don't you guys share your contact, or you can email the office, both of you, and we'll share each other's email if you don't want to put it on this platform, and then you guys can connect. So just email us each of your email addresses. Okay, now back to the show. We have Hubert on joining us, and we were talking about everybody has an assignment for their generation, and your role in fulfilling that assignment. Once you discover your assignment, what problem you were created to solve, then you discover your area of leadership. That's where you have dominion in. That's where you shine. That's where your gifting is. And that's what you were born to administrate. And let me tell you something. When you discover what this is, and usually it's staring at you right in the face, actually it's inside, but it's your passion, it's when you become alive and you don't really want to do much else. It's all you want to do. There is just so much fulfillment in it. But let me tell you, beyond being fulfilled, when you discover your assignment, you discover that when you begin functioning how you were built to function, that's where your value is. The value of a mango seed is in its ability to produce itself, to manifest its fruit, to grow into a tree and give you its fruit. That's when it's functioning how it was built to function. And that's where the value of it is. If you are not producing and becoming yourself, manifesting your potential, then you will malfunction and you won't ever tap into your value. So I think that's one of the reasons, I think it's the main reason Jesus cursed the fig tree. The fig was not functioning according to how it was built to function. There were supposed to be figs on this tree, and Jesus was hungry. So he went to the fig tree, there was no fruit, and he cursed it because it was not bearing fruit. It wasn't performing its function. It wasn't doing what it was designed to do. And this is really when you shine in life, is when you are carrying out what you were born to do. And let me tell you guys a key here. When you discover what you were born to do, you already have everything it takes to operate in your ability to do it. It's trapped inside of you. How you were born, and that's why I love the illustration Dr. Myles used all the time. He talked about a mango seed. The future and the potential of the mango seed was trapped within itself. That's how God built everything in creation. It's in nature, it's in us, it's in our babies, it's in everything alive. The future and its potential is trapped inside. So a lot of times when we discover what we're born to do, we think, oh, I'm not capable, or, I'm not smart enough, or I don't have all the resources yet. And you really start doubting yourself. You start questioning. You start listening to other people's opinions. What? Who do you think you are? And then we just kind of ignore those things. So it's so important for you to know whatever you are carrying, we need, and whatever you were designed to be, you already have the ability in you to do it. It's trapped inside of you. Hubert, expound on this a little bit for us.
Yeah, everyone was born or created to do something. That's why when I love what Trista just said, most of people get the only opinion of themselves they have is from everyone else. They try. That's why most of people, they don't feel good when they don't dress in a way, they don't drive this car or this and that. But the real value of anybody is found within. Is found when you discover something important that you were born to bring to the earth. Nobody was born or created just to come and pay bills, as Dr. Munroe used to say. Everybody was born. And do you know what is funny? Is deep inside, everyone knows it. I love how the kids, every time, all of them have different opinions. like, oh, I want to be a policeman. I want to be this and that. In kids, it's natural. They're not even forcing it. But when we grew up, we tend to listen to what everyone else is saying, what everyone else's opinion is about us, and we lose that thing. So the purpose of this webinar is to bring you back to the real you. Who are you? What have you brought to us? And it's very important for you to discover it so we can eat some of your fruits.
Yes, it's very important. And another thing that a lot of people get confused with is they think, oh, I have to move. I need to be somewhere else because I'm not seeing any fruit or I'm not being fulfilled. But actually, it's the solution that makes you valuable, not your location. Your gift goes with you wherever you go. And that's what I love. Corrie ten Boom says, bloom where you are planted. And so that's why when I started this webinar today, I said, greetings, everybody. Tell me where you've been planted. Where did God plant you? So you can move anywhere. You can do anything. You can stay where you are. It doesn't matter what side of the tracks you're on right now. None of that matters. Your gift is trapped inside of you. You just have to manifest it. God didn't give Adam resources. He planted them in the garden. All the resources were there. And he had to innovate and make something out of it. So if Adam wanted a table and chairs, he had to see it inside the tree and use his God-given ability to innovate and to create. So God gave him the resources, but Adam had to extract them. So there's resources all around us. You just have to have eyes to see. And I think that's where a lot of people miss out on going to the next level, as some people call it, is because they don't have eyes to see, to cultivate the resources that are already all around them. And that's why even in biblical days, a lot of times when somebody would come to God with a problem, he'd say, what's in your hand? What's in your cupboard? What's in your kitchen? He didn't say, oh, let me go get this for you and bring it to you so you can become yourself or that you can find a solution out of this problem. A lot of times the answers and the solutions and the resources are right there. We just haven't been managing what we have. We haven't been cultivating. We haven't been protecting the resources God's given us because we didn't understand their purpose. There's a purpose for everything God has given you. And a lot of times, especially in our society, employment prevents you from seeing the resources. Not to see them. And this is the key. And we had it backwards in religion, and the world has it backwards. But money follows solutions. A lot of times we think money follows prayer. Well, how many people do we know are still praying for the money? That's crazy. Don't get caught up in that. Money follows solutions. Hubert, explain to us that principle in the position you are in when you are solving a problem in the job, and I want to clarify this is your job, not your life career, but how money has followed the solution or the problem that you've solved in the area you're in now.
Yeah, I think for those maybe who missed the session last time, I was saying how I joined the company a year ago, exactly a year ago, 12 months. And when I came at that office, they were doing training. I was just an entry sales representative. And then I saw something I knew I could bring. They were doing training, and I think the one who was training manager was having a lot of stuff on his plate, and he wanted some covering. Then I stepped in because I saw a need. I didn't pray. I prayed for wisdom. Then when I saw a need, I said, you know what? I can do training. They trained me to do training, and then they realized, oh, this guy can do this very well. Then I started training in my local office. Then the general manager was like, oh, I like this guy because I was available. And this is another key. It's not because, it's not only that I was doing a good job, it's because when I saw a need, I shifted things so I can be available. So my availability to give a solution. And let me tell you something. When you're doing things because you want to bring a solution, is very different than when you do things because you want to be paid for.
Mhm.
Because I remember Dr. Munroe said something once. He said, when you do more than what you are being paid for, you will end up being paid more than what you do.
Mhm.
So that was my principle. I was like, I'm going to give all I have for this company. And it was real in my heart. And I can tell you it's paying well, because when you bring a solution to anybody, that's when you have value. When you have value, you can put a price. So many people, they try to put a price before they bring a
Right.
value.
Right.
It doesn't work. You bring value, then people will have no problem paying you what you want or what you worth. Not what you worth for you, but what solution you're bringing. The more or the bigger the problem you're solving, the bigger the value it will be for the person who had the problem. And guess what? The more you solve, the more they give you.
Mhm.
So it's very key for what Trista just said. You have to find. Let me maybe challenge some of you guys. Start looking for problems, but not to complain for them,
Saw them.
but solve them. Because nobody was ever paid or recognized for bringing up a problem or an issue or a challenge. Everyone is paid, everyone is recognized, everyone is raised because they brought a solution to a problem. Stop talking about problems, start figuring out how to fix them.
That's it. And you just said a key word, figure it out. Thank you. Figure it out. You know, Hubert, that reminded me a few years ago, not too long ago, I had a manager come to me at the hotel, and they wanted a raise. And in my mind, they weren't even adding value at the level they were at. And I ended up terminating them because he thought he was worth so much more, where he wasn't even doing the minimum at the level he was at now. And he thought he wanted more for doing less. And, you know, in my mind, he wasn't even doing the bare minimum of what he should be doing now. And I ended up terminating him because he thought his value was so much more, but he was actually causing problems in the hotel rather than solving them. And then he became a problem, so I terminated him. And when the problem comes to you and wants a raise, you're like, are you crazy? There's no way. So don't become a problem, solve a problem. You can quote me and tweet me on that. So, you know, when it comes to, and you know, Hubert, there's one issue that I want you to address. And I think it's key you're here. I want you to explain to people how when you are in a job and you haven't deployed yourself yet, and the job you're in, how it's actually training for your life assignment, for your what you were born to do, for your life assignment. Explain to people that, because you're in the middle of that now.
Let me tell you, this is the only time I can talk about that, because before I thought you're like, once you discover your purpose, you go and do your purpose, focus on your purpose. That was my belief. And I did that for a while. And then at some point I was not fulfilled, even if I was going after what I knew was my assignment. Because you have, this is how I define leadership. I define leadership as an ability to find a problem and pay the price to bring the solution. Yourself, you pay the price to bring the solution. Now, that price is not money. The price is to develop yourself. The price is to build relationships. The price is to be patient enough. The price is all you do for you to be the person to fulfill your purpose. Now, the minute you discover the problem, you're not ready as an individual to be the solution.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's where the job or the transition comes in.
Mm-hmm.
The job or the transition is the tool God will use to refine you, to give you access to more than you had. I was thinking the other day, no, actually this morning, I was thinking, now I just released the book. The book is not out yet. So for me to do the tour for the book is not people who are going to bring me in because they don't know nothing about my book. I have to print books. I have to pay all my way around for now.
Mhm.
Now, if I didn't serve someone else and bring value to him so he can pay me money, what was I going to use as an investment for my life assignment? So it's very key. And it's not only money-wise, because now I'm in a business world. What I'm going to do in my life, I knew one problem I had. I didn't understand business world. And for me to understand it without making mistakes, because I'm a new coming in, just trying to figure out things out, now I'm serving someone who have been implementing the same business for the last 21 years. Now, what do you think? I'm giving all I have for him, for his business to grow. But in return, I'm getting experience he gained for the last 20 years. Now, this is when you're going after your purpose, when you're becoming yourself, instead of me spending 20 years figuring things out, when I talk with him, he just give them in 1 second. And I just gained 20 years of experience in 1 day. Now, what I'm getting next to what I'm being paid for, the value of experience, the value of the other day when I built my page for the book, my boss was the first person to share it.
Oh, that's good.
I was like, wow, he's so excited. The trip I'm going to LA, for those who are in the California area. I'm going there not because I was planning to go for my book. It's because my company is taking me and my wife to Las Vegas. Then because I was going there, I'm going to Las Vegas, I'm going to LA, I'm not the one who's paying for that. The company I'm working for is paying for it. Now, while I was going to Las Vegas just because I won a free trip to Las Vegas, now I'm going to LA, I will be in LA. The next weekend, I will be in Texas. Not in Texas for my job, but now in Texas, promoting my book, talking and doing my life assignment. So I was thinking, there was no way that's how I will be able to go to launch my book in a pre-launch in North Carolina. That's how I will be able easily. I was going to do it, but it was going to cost me more.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm doing all of that because I served someone else. And ending, there is just a principle, a very easy and down-to-earth principle. If you have not been faithful to what belongs to someone else, who will give you what belongs to you? Jesus was saying, if you need what belongs to you, and you're looking for me to give it to you, you don't have to pray for it. You don't have to fast for it.
Mm-hmm.
You need to find someone else. You serve them. While you're serving someone else, that's only how God is going to give it to you.
That's it. And I think one of the key principles that Hubert's sharing with us is whatever place you are in this journey, extract all that you can out of it. And I think that's why some people are stuck around a mountain, as we say in religious terms, because they haven't learned what they were supposed to learn yet during this time on the job training. And in order to go to the next season, we'll use Hubert as an example, he's learning things on the job, extracting all this experience that he's going to need. Where do we get our training from? God gives us a job to get training, and they pay us while we get trained. You're getting paid to be trained. So that's why it's also so important to go in an area that lines up or is in the field of your gifting. So right now, Hubert is training others. And that's one of the things he's going to be doing with his life is training. That's what we do. And so now he's getting paid to train people, but he's extracting all that he can in the season that he is in now. And do that in the season you are in so you can move on to the next season. Don't prolong it. And a lot of times we complain, we gripe, oh man, I'm not. Man, extract everything you can now, learn it so you can go on to the next one. Don't prolong it. That's when I think you get miserable and frustrated, you know, because you're getting that itchy, oh man, what am I doing here? I've been here too long. You're feeling restless. There's something you haven't learned yet on the job. There's an experience you haven't. So extract all of it. Use wisdom. That was one key that Hubert said. And because it's so important, because your life calling has life in it. But you have to learn on the job. So I don't want everybody to jump up and quit, because I talk a lot about deploying yourself. And that's why I wanted to have this session with Hubert, because he's doing what I've been teaching, what we've been teaching. Mm-hmm. So he is sowing his gift, his knowledge, his experience right now in the job. Guys, do that. Give them all you have. He says, I'm 100%, I'm in. Don't be half in. Don't be, well, I'm here, but I'm not here mentally, but I'm physically here because I have to. Man, show up 100%. Give it all you have and extract everything you can out of it so you can go on to the next season. And that's so important. Hubert is not going to be in this season for the rest of his life. If he is, then I will have to come up and personally have a come to Jesus meeting with him in Canada. Or at least on WhatsApp. So, but he is, that's why you have to understand the seasons that you're in. It's very important. And know that you're not going to be there forever, but there's another season. But man, extract it. That's why Paul said, I'm content wherever I'm at. Glean what you can where you are. Give all that you have in the season you're in. And trust me, you're going to need it for the next season. So don't prolong the season you're in. So all of us are born with this gift and we possess it now. And when you function in it, in whatever capacity of the season you're in, that's when you're fulfilling your purpose. Hubert is fulfilling a portion of his purpose now. He's functioning in a certain area and loaning his gifts, and in the meantime, receiving experience and solutions. And he's gleaming, he's learning models, he's, you know, and his boss is opening doors for him. God puts people in your life to do that. But he said a very important key. He said, I'm 100% in. I'm giving this company all that I have. That's key. Don't resent the job that you're in. Don't resent it. God will use it, and he'll use the boss that you can't stand. This is key. You have to be faithful in the season that you're in. That was another principle that Hubert expounded on. He is being faithful with the resources God's given him, which is another man's resources. He's being faithful with the training program that he's developed. He's being faithful in making sure he adds value to this man's business. Listen, if you add value to another man's business or another woman's business, and you're faithful in that, God will give you your own. It's as simple. And whatever that looks like is different for everybody. It may not be a brick and mortar. It may be an online presence. It may be a ministry. It may be an organization, whatever it is you're born to do. But he's testing you right now to see if you're faithful in the season that you're in with the resources he's given you that somebody else owns. Because if you can't manage your boss's resources, he'll never give you your own. So Hubert is in a season of testing. That's what it is. And I mean, I have Hubert on the webinar, and I hope it's easy to use him as an example for this topic that we're talking about, because he knows the principles, he's applying them, he's already seen success, he's already seen promotion, they've given him more money, they've given him more freedom, they've given him more flexibility. He's now taking an American tour in the month of April for his sharing it and depositing it. Deposit where you are, wherever it is. Don't wait to deposit your potential in your own platform. That's not where we get experience. I just lost Hubert. Oh, there he goes. He's on again. So we're carrying it all inside of us. Don't keep it bottled in. Make deposits wherever you are. So this is so important. You know, and another scripture that I want to expound on, and it's so true, and I'm seeing this on a daily basis with my gifting, with my husband's gifting. I keep going back to Proverbs 18. Your gift makes room for you and brings you before great people, brings you before kings. In essence, your gift forces space in the universe. People will come to you. People will hound you down, but you have to start manifesting it. Manifest it wherever you are, in pieces and chunks. That's exactly what Hubert's doing. That's what me and my husband are doing. This is key to it. You know, we've been working on a project now for 2 years. I did the online school of influence. Now we're putting all of it into a workbook. The workbook has turned into a 500-page textbook curriculum, which is outstanding. And I got a call at 9 o'clock at night from Singapore and a gentleman on it from Thailand because they heard about what we were doing. So are you ready for that call when you get it? You know, we're always praying for a check. We're always praying for a phone call. We're always praying for God to open doors. We've been preparing for 2 years, and people think I'm crazy. People think I'm nuts, okay? And that's okay. But when you get that phone call and they say, we're building some universities in Asia. We have been looking for years for a curriculum like this. We've been looking for years to teach our people the principles of the kingdom of God. Is this a kingdom-based curriculum? Yes, it is. I have it. We're going to be done with it in 2 to 3 weeks. It's in the final editing stages in English. And we've been translating it all along into, as you guys know, French, Spanish, Portuguese.
Wow.
Hindi and Farsi.
We're going on Hindi and Farsi, so we need more people to help us with this. You guys, this is the kind of stuff that can change nations. You can change the world one mind at a time, but it starts somewhere. And it starts in planning, preparation, and then when you get that phone call and you've been busy operating and functioning in your gift and doing what you were born to do, then you'll be prepared for that. So right now, Hubert is being prepared for his life assignment. He's in it. This is a portion of it. And when he gets that phone call, or when he gets a person he meets at a conference, or when he goes to one of his book signings, you never know. When somebody asks him to do something or be part of something, you go, yes, and I can do it because I already have experience. It's just going to another level. So I want to use these as examples because it's so easy to talk about these things, but I want you guys to see it really works. You know, I got a phone call and I could see it was a gentleman in Singapore at 9 o'clock at night the other night. I am going to meet with them in Texas next week. Debbie, are you ready for when that opportunity comes knocking at your door? And that's why a lot of people miss opportunities because they haven't been preparing and planning for them. Wow. They wait for the opportunity shows up and they're not ready. And that's why it's so important. You get on-the-job training, you're operating and in your gifting and functions and portions of it. Right now, we're going out to a lot of you on Facebook, you saw, we are bringing this program outside of Naples. It's in Immokalee. You know, everybody likes throwing money to this immigrant town. But when it comes to training them, driving out there a few times a month to actually train them, that's a whole different story. Yes. You know, it's a whole different story. And so that's actually what we're doing. And nobody's paying us to do this. But we're offering our gift for free at first. That's a principle. That's a key. And when you're operating your gift, you're getting value, you're getting training. And it's funny, I met with the director. I met with them last week for the first time. Debbie and Brittany had already met with them. They launched the program last week. I was talking to the director, I met him, and he was so flabbergasted we were out there doing this for them. Trista, this means the world to us. What these kids, what you're giving them, this is going to change our community. And I said, no, you don't understand. You're giving us an opportunity to refine our program. You're giving us more of a benefit than we feel we're giving you. So we were both thanking each other so much for what we were doing, because now I have a place where we can implement the pilot program in. Yeah, we're doing it for free, but we need to. We're going to tweak it. We're going to refine it. And so I was just as grateful to him. I'm like, thank you for giving us a chance to do this. He's like, no, thank you for doing this, because he's seen it and he knows the value in it. So that's key. So this is the same principles we're sharing with you. They're being implemented in different ways. Hubert's implementing them up in Canada in an actual company, and we're implementing them out in different organizations and communities and in nations. We're going to be launching this in Haiti. So it's the same principles we're applying. That's it.
That's true.
Hubert, would you like to?
No, I just wanted to interject. She said something. There is nothing worse than being exposed or have an opportunity and you are not ready for it. There is nothing worse than that. Many people, they are looking for opportunities. They are praying for God to open doors. But if you're not ready for the door that is going to be opened, you're going to crush yourself. I remember this last February, I think. I was invited to go to speak in Suriname. Then I'm grateful, and this is why you need to have some people in your life who have been where you're trying to go, who knows firsthand what works and what doesn't. And one person called me. He saw my picture on Facebook post saying I was going. And that person said, so what are you going to give them? What do you have? You haven't done nothing. That is someone who went straight on the point. He was like, you don't go there. You call these people, you say, you can't go anymore. I was like, yes, because it's someone I value the input. I know it's someone who's looking for my best interest. And Trista kept telling me, if you haven't produced anything, don't go out there. Because it's a good opportunity. I was going to meet with the parliament, people from the parliament, from the government, and you're going just to see, they don't want to see your pretty face. They don't they want something. Then that person, now when I produce my book, the person called me again. He said, now you're not going to be into other people's agendas. Now you have something in your hands you can give to people.
Yes.
Now you have something you have produced. Now you have experience. And I'm so grateful because the opportunity was there. But because I knew I was not ready for it, and this is what Trista was saying, that's why you need to have a clear vision of what your life is going to be. Because when you have a clear vision of your life, then you know when you're ready and not. The opportunity was very good. I'm telling you that I was like, oh my goodness, I'm going to be on a fly. I'm going to be talking to the government. I know that's what I'll be doing in the future. But I can only do that from something I have produced. When I'm sitting with them, I'm not talking about what I heard. I'm going to tell them what I have been doing, the process I went through. To write a book, for example, it's not a big deal as the process of writing the book. The process, to deal with people. Everyone gives you his opinion on your own book. And to know to say, you know what, this is good, but this is not the voice I want to use. All of that helps you to be able, when you sit with people and they have some challenges, you can tell them something out of your experience.
That's it. That's key.
That's really, and Trista did that. Do you know, most of people I know, it's not easy for her to talk about herself, so I will do it. She has been managing the hotel for the last 20 years. More than that. So can you imagine what she's been doing? She's been being faithful to Rito, because what she's going to be dealing with is more. She was telling us how people who are not productive, she had an opportunity to hug them goodbye. That's a process. She was learning how to measure productivity of people. Now she's going to be dealing with programs that will be changing nations. Can you imagine if she haven't run anything, and now you give a country, a nation into her hands? What is she going to do? Experimenting with other people's purposes. Now, God is so responsible, He'll never allow it. So stop praying, start planning and preparing.
That's it. And Hubert, I want to, for those of you that need a scripture to back up what we're saying, do you remember the story where the disciples, they knew who Jesus was, but Jesus had not exposed himself yet. And they said, Jesus, let us go to it was like, not a carnival, but it was like a fair, not even a fair.
Yeah, they were going to Jerusalem.
Yeah, they want to go to Jerusalem. And they said, Jesus, go to Jerusalem so that people can see who you are, that you're the Messiah, and expose yourself so they can see who you really are. And you know what Jesus said to them? He says, my time is not yet, but for you, any time will do. Jesus knew his timing. He knew his seasons. He's the Messiah. He came to the earth for a purpose, to bring the kingdom back to us, right? To get the Holy Spirit back in. And the disciples were so excited about it. And they said, let's go to the festival so we can tell everybody who you are. And he says, my time is not yet, but for you, any time will do. So we have to understand the seasons we're in, the timing we're in, which is key to us learning in the stages, in the seasons that we're in. Garnering everything, gleaning everything. Don't resent the season that you're in. Garner everything from it, right? Get the most benefit out of it that you can, however little it looks, so you can go to the next season. Again, don't prolong it. And this is key to self-governing yourself. That's the whole objective. So I see Crystal's on. Crystal works for Southwest Airlines. She's an airline stewardess. She is on the job training, and they're training her for her life assignment. And you can think, well, how is an airline stewardess? I don't know. Only she can know. You know, can you imagine me in a hotel now just how to train nations from how I got experience out of a hotel and through Kingdom Community? So everybody has a different story, and everybody has a different journey. Everybody's at a different season. That's why we can never judge other people. I can never judge Hubert. He's in a season. Whatever that, I'm in a season, but I'm sure not going to prolong my seasons. I'm the one that has to live with them. There's no way. And I see so many people doing this. And people try to jump out of season prematurely. And it makes it even worse. Like, hey, I'm going to move and I'm going to go. And I'm like, no. And I say, what's your point of moving? Well, you know, I couldn't ever find a job. And there's a job over in Tennessee and I'm going to go. Oh, okay. Well, does that job line up with what you were born to do? No, I don't even know what I was born to do. Well, then you are making a huge commitment, uprooting your family, going to Tennessee. I'm just using that as an example. So if anyone's thinking about doing it, I'm not saying, thus saith the Lord, don't do it.
I'll go to Tennessee.
But listen, you guys, that's why writing your vision is so important. And then you back up and you do what you need to do according to your purpose. And you make decisions based on your vision. And then you can get the training, you can get the experience that you need to do, and you can go through the seasons. And that's part of self-governing yourself. This is key. So for those of you that are on the job training, understand your futures after 5. Grow and develop yourself after 5 in your downtime. Hubert said he was working on his website for his page. I know he doesn't do it when he's sitting on the job. And if you are, don't. Nope, see, he's not. Because then he's not managing the resources properly. He's taking advantage and actually thieving time and resources from his boss, but he's not doing that. So when he goes home at night, now he's working on his life assignment. He's working on his season that he's in for his book, doing his website, promoting it. Now he's gonna be traveling. So we are a different breed of people, you guys. We were born to be successful. We were born to function according to what our purpose is. And until you do that, you will malfunction, you will not be successful, you'll be bored, you'll be frustrated, you'll be depressed, you'll need to get high. You know, I have some people I know that are clients of Matthew, their wives, I see them on Facebook. They get so excited when a box of wine comes to the door. They're posting about how exciting wine is. And I go, oh my gosh, they're totally, you know, the wine has dominion over them. They need wine to function in life. Okay, there's nothing wrong with drinking wine. I'm not saying that. But if that's what you need to function and get through life, Lord have mercy. That's depressing. And I look at that, and then they live for going to Napa Valley, and they live for wine. And I'm like, wow, you live for grape juice. You live for fermented grape juice. What kind of life is that? So this is why it's so important. We self-govern ourselves in the season that we're in. We understand the times that we're in. We sow our seed, and I'll say this scripture again in Ecclesiastes 11:6. Our family is living proof of this scripture. I know Hubert can expound on this as well, but Ecclesiastes 11:6. Sow your seed in the morning. You go to on-the-job training in the day, but in the evening, let not your hands be idle, for you don't know which one will prosper you, whether this or that, or whether both will do equally well. So don't waste the evening. Don't sit and become a zombie in front of the TV screen all night. Okay? Don't waste your time doing that. Invest in yourself. That's the number one commodity you have, is your potential, your purpose, your brain, what God gave you to do. Hubert, why are you smiling so big?
No, I'm smiling because you're straight on the point. It's this morning I was thinking, I was like, I was never going to produce my book and have it without having to go through a lot of people if I didn't take last year the opportunity I had to get this job. So
say that one more time. Oops.
I was never going to be able to produce my book and have it out if I didn't take last year this job. I was thinking that this morning. So plant your seed. You never which one is going to be brought up. Now, what is even more interesting is now doing this job. Doing this job, I met someone who edited my book and who's translating my book in German. During this job, I found someone who can translate my book into Spanish. During this job, I found so many people who are connecting me to my purpose while I was here. Now, if I was thinking about money or not doing what I thought was not my assignment, I was going to miss everything I needed up to date for my assignment. So that's what it means to plant your seed, and you never know which one, because God doesn't tell you how he's going to do what he's going to do with you.
Right.
He never tells you why, how rather. Never, never, never. The how you will never get, because if he told you how, you will say, you know what, let's forget this. So the how is in the principles, but what Trista said, these principles we're telling you are there to help you, so God can use those principles to show you the how. And it's really key. I didn't understand this until last year. And I'm glad I did to this point, because everything now I'm doing is lining up with the assignment while I'm doing the job.
That's right. While you're managing somebody else's resources.
Exactly. At the same time, I'm learning how to train. Now, I'm not training what I want. They give me what they want, and I have to come up with the training. What do you think I'm doing? Now, I told you I was promoted to the, how do you call it? The executive business developer. Now I have to go to develop other businesses into other areas. I'm developing offices. What do you think I'm doing? I'm learning how to develop in different locations, and that's what I'm going to be doing. Nation building, national development. But I had to start somewhere. And what is good is God is using my company to pay me to learn. So at the end, instead of having a loan and $50,000 to pay to the government because I had to pay for it, I'm not saying you don't do that. I'm just saying I'm being paid to learn. That's it.
So it's all a matter of your perspective. That's all it is. So we're just trying to adjust your perspective, right? That's what Dr. Myles was. Perspective adjuster. So now you can go into the job and have more understanding and getting everything you can out of that season that you're in. So we're going to finish today, but I want you to remember to self-govern yourself wherever you are, whatever season you're in, and grow and develop in your downtime. They own you from 9 to 5, but after 5, after that shift is over, develop yourself, invest in yourself, and share with your kids what you're doing so they understand. This is so important. Produce according to your ability, not anybody else's ability. Remember when Jesus gave the talents in the parable? He gave them according to each person's ability. So I can never compare myself to Hubert. I can never compare myself to Debbie in the office. She's an amazing administrator. Everybody has different abilities, and produce according to yours. That's why there's no competition in the kingdom of God. We can't compare ourselves. The only person you can compare yourself is with yourself. Hubert can only compare himself with himself, according to himself. And how do you measure success? According to how you're progressing in your life vision. That's how I measure my success. And I'm always measuring it in my head, trust me. I'm type A, I'm a bit driven. So I'm always measuring my success. You know, I was thinking, okay, my birthday is coming up in a few weeks. I'm gonna be years old. And I go, okay. You know what made me think of it was, I guess Grease, the movie Grease is gonna be 40 years old. Okay, that's a long time. I was just a very small child. I wasn't allowed to watch it. I was just a little kid. I was probably 3 or 4 years old when it came out. And I go, 40 years have gone by since the movie Grease. And, you know, all these movies are coming out. They're remaking them because decades have gone by. And I go, Lord, have mercy. I hope I can produce a lot in this little time that we have, because it does go by so quick. So be on your game. Produce according to your ability, according to your vision, what God's giving you. Stay in your lane and finish your race. That's all God can ask from us. That's all we can do from God. And then when you do that and you're functioning according to your ability to function and how you created, you're fulfilled and you're producing for the kingdom of God. That's what we're doing. And it's not in a religious way, guys. You don't have to do it in the church. Right, Hubert? Hubert's doing it in the marketplace. I'm doing it in the marketplace. When we're launching this in Haiti, I'm not going through the churches. I'm going through different avenues, through vocational schools, educational schools. There was a hospitality school. There's Entrepreneur Business Association. There's Leadership Association. So we're reaching out to these people. But we've been planning and preparing this for years. And it all goes according to my gifting, which is training. I want to intentionally train for a certain outcome. Like, I don't want to just, you know, conferences are great, but that's not me. I don't want to go to a conference, speak for 45 minutes, and then you never see me again. I want to sit down with people for 3-4 days and then give them something when I leave. Intentional training is important because I need to see results. I'm very results driven. So is God. We don't produce fruit. He says he takes the kingdom away from us. Lord have mercy. Produce fruit in the season you're in, whatever that is. Hubert, I've had this on you the whole time. Stay in your lane and finish your race, and we will see you at the top. Oh, there's a question. What happens when you are working in a low-paying position and you give the business owner ideas to increase their business sales, but the business owner says, I will see, but they never implements your ideas? Then they look at you as if you don't know much. What do you
too much? If you know too much.
Look at you as if you know too much. Oh, that you're a know-it-all. Well, if they aren't going to receive, you can't make them receive your ideas, but just keep giving ideas. Maybe one day they'll say, oh my goodness, she was right. We should have implemented that idea she had 3 years ago. What were we thinking? And then they'll come find you and ask you for your advice. You never know. But there's nothing wrong with giving your ideas. Even if they don't use them, it doesn't matter. Some ideas are better than others, and they may have a different perspective. And here's the thing. I want to tell you guys something. Coming from a business owner perspective, having around 45 to 50 employees for 20, 21 years, almost 22, however many years now, it doesn't matter. Whenever somebody comes to me with an idea, I realize the value that somebody's thinking. I'm just happy someone's thinking besides me, because most people go around like robots, not everybody, but some of them, and waiting for you to tell them what to do. Drives me nuts. They're not adding value. They have no initiative. I wrote about it in my book. And some ideas that people come to are good ideas from their perspective. But me knowing the big picture, how all the departments function, the overall picture of things, is not the right idea for that time. And maybe I've already tried it and it didn't work. And a lot of times that's happened. A lot of times it wasn't the time to try it, but then it reminded me, oh my gosh, let's try that idea again. I forgot about that. I did it 15 years ago. Switch camera. Switch camera. Okay, are we on now? So just keep giving your ideas, and there may be a reason it doesn't work. It may be a reason they don't want to listen. You never know, but there's nothing wrong. And when it's your idea, just give it and release it. Let it simmer with them. They may not use it. They may down the road. They may regret it. You never know. But don't be discouraged. Keep thinking of ideas. Keep adding value to the business, no matter what it is. Okay? Hubert, would you like to?
I loved what you just said right now, because what I can tell the person who was asking about, when you give the ideas, you have to keep in your mind, it's their business. And sometimes your idea, sometimes the business owner knows things you don't know. And I loved what Trista said from a business owner. Sometimes from your perspective, this is the best thing to do. But sometimes for them, it may be good, but maybe not for now. On the other hand, sometimes they may not see. Maybe you're seeing ahead, and what Trista said is very true. When you give them the ideas, and even if they don't implement your ideas right away, and you keep a good attitude, when something happens, they will say, you know what, she already or he already told us to do this and that. That will increase your value, because now they're seeing you. They are like, man, maybe we should put that person in the position. And the other thing is position of influence. Sometimes ideas are not received depending on your position. That's why do and be the best in the position where you are. When they see that, they will give you another position. I'm saying that because a few weeks ago, the ideas I was going to bring to this business were not going to have the same value as today. Today, I'm the business developer. So now they're waiting on me to bring those ideas. The other day, I was the training manager. So the training manager, it was going to be well received as a training manager because I'm training people. Now I went from the train to develop the business. All of that because while I was a training manager, do you know how many ideas I gave and they were not received? A lot of them. But because my attitude was I try to serve them, if I'm trying to serve them and what I'm proposing is not in their best interest, I'm good. I'm happy. I try to do what I can do. But now some of those ideas, I'm going to implement them because I'm in the position to do that. So it's a very good thing. And I loved what Trista said. Just to add that sometimes it may not be good for today, but if you keep a good attitude, tomorrow it will be not even good only. The value of it will increase. And I'm telling you, every time you increase your value, you increase your checks.
That's right. The more problems you solve, the more money follows. That's it. So I'm going to leave you guys with this. The first thing God gave us is the most important thing, his image, which is our brain, our capacity to think like God. That is our number one commodity. And I don't know who said this, but I learned it from Dr. Myles. I don't know who said this, but 90% of success is in your head and 10% in your hands. Use your innovative ability, that God created ability that he gave all of us. Come up with ideas. Keep doing that. How can I add value to my department? How can I add value to this airline? and go beyond what they've asked you to do. Go above and beyond. That's what Joseph did in the prison. He went above and beyond, and they made him manager while he was prisoner. That's kingdom right there, if I've ever heard it. So if you're locked in a prison right now somewhere and you're listening, there's hope for you. You can become manager or, you know, somebody like that in that regards. So use your brain. Use the imagination God gave you. And it will excel you into the next season when you've done everything you can to extract what you're supposed to extract out of that season. You just have to have eyes to see and ears to hear and understand the seasons that you're in. So thank you, Hubert, for joining us today. It was a pleasure. I have a great idea for our next topic of webinars, and I've asked Hubert to join me, but we're not going to tell you what it is, but it's something I've never done before. And I was on a panel recently online, which we'll be announcing in April, and it opened up my eyes to ideas. So we're going to be implementing them in April. I probably won't be seeing you guys in 2 weeks because I will be on our 10-year anniversary in the Bahamas, and I don't know how my husband will think, you know, Trista, what are you doing on that computer over there? Well, I'm doing a webinar. So I'll probably see you guys in a few more weeks after that because I have to keep my family first, right? Is that right? That's a kingdom principle, guys. You guys will be fine until I see you in a few more weeks. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Hubert.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, Crystal says thank you to Hubert and Trista. Crystal's on Facebook over here. Bye, everybody on Facebook. It was good seeing you. Bye, everybody from the Middle East, from all over the world. And we'll see you guys in a few weeks. Bye-bye.